Shakur, he stumbled a little bit on the ropes. He got hit with a jab in the same time, and his knee buckled. People were saying that it could have been a slip. Do you feel like that was an opportunity for Zepeda to take advantage that he got him hurt? What do you think? What was that situation? Do you think Zepeda played it right?
I mean, he seen Shakur stumble and he continued to punch. But like I said, this kid smart, knew how to grab, he knew how to do certain things, But I believe it was an accumulation of punches. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if he was hurt or not, but an accumulation of punches of fatigue. When you got somebody just on you like that, it causes fatigue. I get tired just watching it.
Watching it. That was a good one. All right. So yeah, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. You're right. Cepeda's stock definitely did grew, and I'm pretty sure I've seen so many other people in this space talk about them wanting to see him in his next fight. Um, but nevertheless, Schofield, do you feel like that's something that is something that you feel like that could possibly happen next due to the fact that Shakur's out here talking to Conor Benn and possibly making a Conor Benn fight, and I would like to know what you think about that fight as well.
I don't know. I mean, I think Shakur should stay. If he doesn't have a problem making 135, stay at 135. Maybe move up one weight class. But but again, he dares to be great. So he wants to do those type of things. But yeah, it's not what we want. Those are fights that are going to be made in in the midst of all of this because Kid Austin is at that level. You know what I'm saying? He's at that level and he's dangerous at that level. He's young, he's hungry, he wants to prove to the world that he belongs there, that that's his position. So, those are all fights that are going to be made within this looping circle that's going on. Hats off to him, man. I'm so happy. I'm you know, that's my guy, man. That's the first world champion that God gave me. Just to see him, and once again, he proves to people that he's a man of his word. He said, I'm going to be a world champion again. Hats off to him, to his entire team, Nelson, Gallo, Joe Cuadrado, all the people that formed that, Pedrito and Yomi. Hats off to them, and hats off to a warrior like Subriel. Like I told, it was going to be a tough fight, but that I had Subriel winning. And Puello, my hats off to Puello too, because I believe Puello could have boxed, for 12 rounds and did what he knows how to do. But he stood there and fought Suriel too, and this time it didn't work out for him. But at the end of the day, Mills, every fan there should have been happy. They were all great fights. All of them were great fights. Even from Tsutsumi, the Japanese kid, he showed that he's coming here to stay. I mean, Turkey did a wonderful job, and I think we patched up and covered up, the last event that Turkey did in New York.
Right, right, and it seemed like a lot of these Tom and Jerry comments weren't necessarily just towards Shakur Stevenson because clearly Puello came to fight as well. Um, but tell me, I mean, obviously Matias had a different game plan way earlier. Do you feel like that was where the success led? Because towards the end of the rounds,
No doubt
what
about
was
it.
that?
No doubt about it. That's what we talked about here. He came out doing. Subrell's always a guy that starts about the third round. I'm gonna tell you one thing, brother. They flew me in for free to New York. They flew in. They booked my hotel. They gave me free tickets to watch the fights previously in Times Square, and I still feel it wasn't worth it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, then I didn't pay a single cent. So I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear you guys say that it was worth the $65 that you guys got. Maybe we didn't come home with the victory, man. We came home with a good lesson, and at the end of the day, we came home to happy fans.
And that's important. Now, tell me, um, now that Matias is the WBC champion now, and he doesn't have to deal with the rehydration clause. Tell me, is that going to be a big difference in him and his performance? A lot of people say he's a big 140.
No, so that doesn't make a difference. Suriel doesn't go up in weight a lot. At least when he was with me before even being an IBF champion, Suriel doesn't doesn't go up and wait a lot. His cheeks get, he gets his cheeks puffy, but you'll see Suriel, he's always in shape. He's a guy that likes to run and always work out. So but yeah, it's always going to have an advantage that it's not behind your head where man, I can't do this because I got to weigh in this. So I mean, there's always going to be an advantage there, Mills.
100%, 100%. Um, what do you think about him and Dalton Smith? They're saying that he fights a lot like PM Liam Paro.
I've known Dalton since Dalton was probably about 13 years old. Since 2012, I've known Dalton. Great kid, great fighter. I'm so glad he's also. I told him I seen him in New York, and he came and before the fight even happened, I just said, Dalton, I'm glad you're finally getting an opportunity, man. He deserves it. He deserves it. It's going to be a great fight. But again, at the end of the day, I got to go for Suriel Matias. I don't know if it's my heart. I don't know what it is, but I gotta go. I gotta go for Suriel Matias.
E-man, thank you for the $2. Subriel lost that fight. Some people believe that it could have went the other way. Really
That's
that
what, that's
close? What
what
do you
makes
think?
That's what makes great fights when you have two different opinions, and that just tells you that was a great fight. Judges seen one thing, some people seen another thing, and others seen another thing. But at the end of the day, he's a world champion. You need to respect that. You need to give him his props. He beat the world champion. He didn't go in there to fight a vacant world title. He beat the world champion, and he needs his props. And this day, on the 14th of July, Suriel Matias is the new WBC super lightweight world champion. So I can't go off what people say. I said when that bell rang, Suriel walked up to Puello like somebody stole his football. He went on and just wham started right away, and I believe it had a lot of success. I believe them too. They had a great plan, and man, always love Suriel, much love to him, and I'm happy. I'm excited for him. Because I know if it goes good for them, it goes good for us. You got to remember, I still got guys from Fresh Productions here and things. So, when they're doing good, we're doing good.
100%. That's when Turkey Al Sheik went into the ring and told Subriel, "You're gonna be fighting Dalton Smith next."
Well, if Subriel wants to continue to make good money, he needs to do that. Cause remember, he beat the world champion. He didn't win a vacant world title, so Suriel has an optional before. But Suriel, again, he's 30 something, 32 years old. He's not looking for optionals. He's looking to make money. He's looking to provide for his family. He's looking to do those things. So I believe that Suriel will be fighting Dalton in November.
Right. We seen also the style of refereeing when it came down to Puello. The referee was telling Puello constantly, making sure that he doesn't clinch and was separating it very fast. Do you feel like therefore that was where, kind of if you had that type of style for perhaps Liam Paro? I mean, I was there. People were booing, and nobody boos a Super Matias fight. I'm just saying, nobody boos a Matias fight like that style of judging, kind of like, it's gonna favor Matias. You know what I mean? And I think that in boxing, it gives more entertainment
Yeah,
value as
but
well.
I believe a lot of this had to do with the referees, with the Tom and Jerry thing as well. They wanted to improve. They wanted to impress. The boss. They wanted to do a lot of things. They want to continue to work. There's a lot of work in Arabia. I got three more trips. From here to December, 3 or 4 more trips to Arabia. So there's a lot of work. So these referees want to get called. Not only are the boxers getting paid, the referees, the commissions, all these people are getting paid because you got this guy out here doing outrageous stuff, like having an event at Flush Meadows. I mean, at the Louis Armstrongs, having a guy do an event at Times Square. So everybody wants to impress. So I believe the referees also are there trying to do their job, and and breaking clinches and giving the fights. But like you said, man, yeah, I mean, I believe if we would have had that for Liam Paro, and things like that, But at the end of the day, Suriel Matias was a world champion. He was the IBF world champion. You have to have the experience to deal with those type of fighters. You can't depend on a referee. You have to have the experience to get them off you. And he learned from that. He came back with 4 great victories. You know what I'm saying? Three or four victories. So Biel learned from those things. So That's what champions do. You can't say. I remember my nephew used to tell me all the time when he used to box. Oh, it's because all you do is teach him to run. Why don't you teach him to stand here and fight me? When I would have him spar, other guys, and I would say, man, if they were made to our fitting, then we wouldn't have to train. So I believe that every world champion, you're a world champion for a reason. So you have to have the experience to to fight any type of fighter that's in front of you that day.
Tell me, did you see anything different in Matias in this fight? I did. Turning with them, and I never really seen him do that. On a defensive note.
I mean, like I said, I was behind I was in the locker room on the TV screen. No volume or anything like that. But yeah, Matias, Matias gives the fans what they want to see. Matias knows how to do things. That he is that he does them. That's a whole different note. But he knows how to do things. Matias knows how to move his hips and how to do certain things. But then again, I tell you that he does them. He likes to give the fans what they want to see. That's the type of fighter he is. That's the type of fighter I believe that he wants to be recognized as someone that always went in there and gave his best and they gave a hell of